What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
And today on The Great Debaters, getting into some Fu-Schnickens. Who'd have thought? Alright, Amir, so today for The Great Debaters, we're going to be talking about some Fu-Schnickens. F you don't take it personal, but first, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already on Unique Access Entertainment. Tell a friend if you already have. We need to get these numbers up. So please hit that subscribe button, like our content, share, talk about it, be about it, each one, teach one. We appreciate you guys' support getting us this far. And of course, you can hit us up on that Cash App, Unique Access ENT, and then of course the live chat as well. Let us know what you guys are thinking. So Amir, the Fu-Schnickens are a very intriguing group on many levels. So what were your kind of first thoughts, exposure, and all that stuff to the good old Fu-Schnickens?
So my first exposure was actually kind of random. Apathy being one of the rappers who I really enjoy. I remember back on maybe Facebook, maybe it was Instagram, one of those social media apps. He actually talked about Fu.
Okay.
And he talked about how he really liked him as a rapper, he liked his flow, etc. And then I was like, oh, Fu, who's that? And then I looked up him, and then I found the Fu-Schnickens, and then also coincidentally around that same time, Jedi Mind Tricks, also affiliated with Apathy, Vinny Paz, Henri Ferros, etc., also actually featured Fu on a song. And I believe the song's called Chalice. But anyway, so I'd been exposed to Fu there. Then I looked up, this album, F You Don't Take It Personal, which I think is interesting because kind of like a double entendre, because Fu, of the members, Fu, Moc-Fu, Poc-Fu, and then also F You, So that was interesting. And then getting this album, I bought this album pretty shortly after that. Apathy had also put me on to other artists like Action Bronson, the Doppelgangers, so I was like, oh, we'll check this one out too. So checking this one out, I had actually first heard, this will be my first track, True Fu-Schnick, which I think is actually a great song to be track one. I think it shows pretty much what you're going to get on a lot of the album. Fu, so I'd actually seen the YouTube video before.
Okay.
Because I had listened to that as I was ordering the album. And I was just like, what the heck is this guy saying? He's rapping so fast. And it's fast in a slightly more unique way than other fast rappers. It's definitely different than, let's say, a Twista or, let's say, like a Busta Rhymes. I think Fu is even harder to understand, at least for me. And he definitely has a lot of energy, too. So Fu was quite mesmerizing, to be honest. They also do have a lyric sheet, which is much needed on the CD pressing, probably on the tape pressing. I'm sure it's there too. But yeah, man, that it's kind of needed, right? Especially in the 90s where you don't have access to that. So when I first heard that, right, and then when it got to, I believe, Moc-Fu's verse. When I first heard it, I actually thought that was Phife Dawg, because I thought he sounded pretty similar, and then what do you know, Tribe Called Quest produces on the album. So, and Phife Dawg is also a feature on the album too. But when I first heard it, I thought it sounded very similar to Phife Dawg. And anyways,
I never thought that.
You never thought that?
That's
So
interesting.
I'd be interested in the comments if you thought the same thing, if you've never heard of Fu-Schnickens and you just listened to that and just vocally, if it sounds similar to Phife Dawg, let us know. But anyways, that was my first pick, True Fu-Schnick.
That's also one of my picks from my top three. I think this song's incredible. I'm going to focus on the beat for a second. Produced by Tribe Called Quest. And looking at the credits, I think is really Ali Shaheed Muhammad on this one. But the great thing about it is listening to the drums. The drums are so heavy, thick, and on that, they got that bottom on this song, man, which I love. It's one of my favorite sonic elements for rap. And I think that this beat really brings out their voices really well because of how pulsating and hard the beat is. I think it really works well with them rapping so fast and their different styles. I think they amend them and modify them very well for True Fu-Schnick. And I think Amir and I often talk about how the first song is so important and it's so great and everything. And sometimes the first song is one of the better songs in my opinion, and Amir's opinion. Sometimes it's not. But I think True Fu-Schnick is definitely one of the best songs, and it just hits you so hard right off the gate. And for that, I was always very impressed. So whenever I put on the album, back in the day, I'd be like, oh man, it's starting off, with a bang. It's going crazy right out the gate. So I always love that. So Amir, what's your second pick?
And that reminds me too, like when Chip-Fu goes blah 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 blah. It's like, what the heck? Like, it's funny, and yeah, a lot of energy on that one. My second pick does have Fife on it. So when I heard it, I was like, okay, so Fife is the third verse, and then Moc-Fu is the fourth verse, and that would be La Schmoove. Really like the chorus on that one too. And like I said, the lyric sheet really comes in handy because honestly, it's very tough for me to understand like a lot of what Chip-Fu in particular is saying. I really have to like sit down and try and listen to it. But I like the sonics of it. I like the approach. And then one thing too, like how I was mentioning, like how I think Fife and Moc-Fu sound somewhat similar, at least to my ear, vocally. On top of that, one thing that's also very interesting about this album as a whole is a lot of the songs you hear certain words, all the members are saying it, which reminds me of Scenario. Scenario by Tribe Called Quest, it's very interactive with all the members on the song. You'll hear them say certain words all at the same time. Just like on this album, you'll hear it throughout this album. So that reminds me, I feel like there's a lot of similarities to certain Tribe things. Like I said, with the Fife voice, in my opinion, you have the Tribe Called Quest producing, you have Fife on features, and then you also have like what I just said about the similarity to Scenario. So that's one thing that I like picked up on this album. And then I really like La Schmoove, We Ain't Got Nothing to Prove, La Schmoove, etc. And then they're all getting their verses in. So boom, that's my number two.
Number two also for me is La Schmoove. I, of course, love Phife Dawg, and this era Phife Dawg in particular was stellar. Coming off Low End Theory and his increased presence on Tribe Called Quest's second album there. So that was really exciting because, of course, Q-Tip was the face of Tribe, the main rapper, also the main producer. So for Phife and now Ali Shaheed Muhammad to get a little more shine with the Fu-Schnickens, I thought was pretty cool. And for Phife to really stand out as the known entity on the single, I thought was pretty cool too, because Phife brings a lot to the table, man. So I thought that was good. I also like when artists that rap fast and rap slow are on the same song, and the rapper that doesn't usually rap that fast doesn't try to imitate. So like Thug Love by Tupac is a prime example, with Bone Thugs and Harmony. That's a great example. Another great one is Adrenaline Rush with Twister and Young Buck from Psychodrama. And La Schmoove, I think, is another, to use three examples. Those are when it's, in my opinion, done right, done well, to where the beat, the slower rapper figures out how to make it work for him, and then the faster rappers just do it the way they do it too. And to me, that's where artists really shine. And I just think it just works so well. And La Schmoove is amazing. I think also the production on there, like the organ and the samples and all that stuff that they use to make it so good. And to Amir's point, like the Scenario, the chorus, the chants, all that stuff of saying the words together, I think it just adds different layers of camaraderie per se, and makes it just sound more exciting and more energetic, even more so than the Fu-Schnickens bring on their own, which is a tremendous amount of kinetic energy, which is remarkable throughout all of F You Don't Take It Personal. So that's my second pick. So Amir, what's your third pick?
Third pick, I'll probably go with Generals. So this is towards the end of the album. Generals, I really like the chorus. I like the instrumental. More or less, a lot of the same stuff with the Fu-Schnickens, Chip, Poc, Moc. They're kind of just still flowing and showing and doing all that they're doing. But for me in particular, I really like how they're doing the chorus, and then you also hear like certain elements of their voice and different things of that nature. And I think, in my opinion, on Generals, you kind of see that a little bit more, at least for me. Particularly for me, the Sonics drive me back to this track, which is kind of what puts it in my top 3. That chorus in particular, something about it I just really, really, really enjoy. And aside from that, they're just flowing and doing all that. And like I said, trying to see what sometimes Chip Fu is saying, I always am going to have to refer back to that lyric sheet. But aside from that, I mean, one song that I was also possibly going to throw in there, but this one kind of beat it out, was Movie Scene I like too. And then, yeah, I also found it interesting too with the cover. They're in the outfits that I thought was interesting, like the Kung Fu. So that was pretty interesting, keeping with the Fu element. But yeah, that's my last pick.
Interesting. That's not my third pick. My third pick is the single, Ring the Alarm. And that one I really like because I'm also a fan of reggae. It's another one of my favorite musical genres. And I do like it when, in my opinion, music is done, or rap is done well with reggae undertones, because of course reggae is a precursor to rap and also heavily influenced it early back in the days. And we see this pop in and out various times over rap history, and I think with Ring the Alarm, it just goes extremely well, because to me, I always kind of likened this alarm with them rapping too fast, or it's an alarm because they're rapping so fast. So to me, I just always liked that juxtaposition, and I thought that it was just cool to hear it, because this was, we had Mr. Tongue Twister, we had Ring the Alarm, and we had Naughty by Nature coming out and Tretch rapping fast. We had this different group of rappers who were rapping super fast, and for me, listening to them back in the day, it was just exciting to hear and trying to decipher what they were saying. Like Amir is saying, like, if you're not used to listening that fast, it takes a little, you have to, pay attention, and then your ears have to get accustomed to listening and processing the information that fast, which I always enjoyed, and I always liked it when maybe on the 4th or 5th listen, like, I caught something I hadn't caught before because they were rapping so fast. And I thought all 3 of the Fu-Schnickens did a great job throughout, If You Don't Take It Personal, and then Ring the Alarm is just such a powerful example of that as well. So those are my top 3 picks. You guys got Amir's top 3 picks. As always, please hit us in the comments section. Let us know what you think of our picks and what your picks are too. We always appreciate hearing from you guys here on Unique Access Entertainment. And of course, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, also down there, and hit us in the chat any way you want to do it. But please let us know what you guys think of what we're doing here on Unique Access Entertainment. We appreciate it. Like our content, share it, talk about it, be about it, each one teach one. Hit us on that Cash App, Unique Access ENT, if you're so inclined. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
Great debaters, y'all. Fu-Schnickens.
Be sure to check out the history of gangster rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
What's that 5 on Young TV back with NWA?
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.